From his latest upload, 7 Days Stranded in a Cave, to I Survived 7 Days in an Abandoned City, these are just a couple of instances where MrBeast has been accused of faking his videos. However, I want to make one thing clear, that these are only allegations, and all of this information is available publicly and I am just reporting. But the truth will become clearer as more information emerges. Now, let's start with 7 Days Stranded in a Cave.
I don't normally do intros like this, but I'm currently descending hundreds of feet into a cave that runs over 5 kilometers deep into the earth. And whether we like it or not, as soon as my friends and I touch the ground, we are officially stranded here for the next 7 days. That might have been the scariest thing I've ever done.
Turns out this cave is a tourist attraction in New Zealand known as Waitomo glowworm caves. As per Wikipedia, this cave is known for its glowworm species found exclusively in New Zealand. In fact, you can find several comments saying the same thing. Is that Waitomo Caves? It's Waitomo Cave in NZ. Most of the cave is extremely well lit. Stranded in a Cave is a tourist attraction in New Zealand. The official tour of the cave takes 45 minutes. This cave has a cafe and a gift shop. It was Waitomo Caves in New Zealand. The ticket prices aren't even expensive, some for like $45 US. And yet MrBeast and his crew are acting as if they're standing in the most dangerous place on Earth.
This is just wicked.
Dude, this is like a different world.
This cave entrance may be beautiful, but looks can be deceiving. We didn't know it yet, but the next 7 days will by far be the hardest of our entire lives.
Anyway, day 1, they set up the camp. Day 2, they explored their surroundings a bit. And day 3 is when they started their journey. However, they returned after completing just 20% of it.
It turns out we wasted way too much time filming and playing with flares to the point where we now had to restart and attempt this mission another day.
Day 4 they spent in the camp, and day 5 they started again.
And if the sharp rocks weren't enough of a challenge, it seemed like with every step we took... Oh, bro, I can't see anything. This is terrifying. The cave became darker, tighter, and ruthless enough that we began to question if we could even get to the finish line.
Now watch this video.
Before, this was a thrilling adventure that travels through the passages of the Waitomo Caves. It involves swimming, jumping over cascading waterfalls, riding a tube, and marveling at the stunning limestone formations. The guides we had for this activity were very fun and entertaining, ensuring we had a safe and seamless journey through the caves. I promise this is not a scary environment to be in, it's a good energy and a lot of fun.
This is the same route where MrBeast and his team were fighting for their lives while exploring the caves. In reality, there are tour guides who can help you navigate safely if you choose to take the water route, which means this cave isn't even that hard to explore. In fact, you can reach the glowworms in 15 minutes. It's a popular cave for tourists, not actual cave divers that spend days exploring, and there is no cave with glowworms in the world that would require you more than a few hours to explore. But wait, there's more. This cave not only has a properly constructed pathway for visitors, but it's also wheelchair friendly. Yes, the cave that MrBeast and his team just explored, putting their precious lives in danger, is also wheelchair accessible.
Come on in. One of the really important concepts when they were designing this tour was that it needed to be wheelchair accessible. To make it even more special, this is a solar powered wheelchair accessible cave with glowworms. I'm pretty sure that's the only one on the planet.
So I don't see how MrBeast and his team was stranded in a cave that's accessible even to someone in a wheelchair. In fact, he didn't mention at any point in the video that there is a well-constructed path for tourists that exists. Instead, he pretended the rough water route is the only way to reach the glowworms, and in the video, they showed after trekking through the most dangerous, terrifying, deadly parts of the cave, the team reaching the glowworm chamber. However, they didn't show the return journey.
Now, because you guys have already seen the trip, we're going to expedite the way back. But seriously, this whole journey took so long, we crossed into day 6 before reaching camp.
The return journey isn't filmed. Any guesses why? because they must have taken the normal tourist route. So my guess is some of the initial trekking stunts were filmed on the rough path of the cave for entertainment and to add drama to the video, while the rest of the journey was completed on the normal tourist route. So MrBeast and his team weren't stranded in a cave for 7 days. In reality, it was a carefully managed production. The entire setup was highly controlled, with the crew using a professional camera team, lifeguards, and 2 tour guides to ensure the safety. The video was a meticulously planned and scripted production rather than an actual survival test as MrBeast claims. Next up, 50 YouTubers fight for $1 million.
I've gathered 50 of the biggest YouTubers on the planet. And whichever one lasts the longest in this cube wins that $1 million for their subscribers.
Back then, when I watched this video, I couldn't shake off the feeling that maybe the video was rigged in favor of certain individuals. It kinda gave me this deja vu of the whole Rosanna Pansino situation. And recently, when I came across this Reddit post, I was sure I was not the only one. Was MrBeast's latest video rigged for Logan Paul and KSI? After watching MrBeast's latest video where 50 YouTubers competed for $1 million, and also watching vlogs from various YouTubers who participated, it seems like the game might have been rigged in Logan Paul's favor. Here's why. Let's go through each of these points that he mentions. Pre-game setup. Both Ludwig and Gideon pointed out that Logan Paul and KSI didn't ride the bus to the location like the other contestants.
You see, it's 50 YouTubers in the box fighting for $1 million. Only 48 of the YouTubers in this event were on the bus. 2 of them had already arrived early, and they're the first 2 people you see when you open the video. Logan Paul and KSI.
So it's true. How can it be that out of all 50 YouTubers, the rules only seem to bend for 2 of them? Quite suspicious, right? Insider info. In Gideon's vlog, KSI explicitly told him what the first game would be. Ludwig also mentioned that Logan Paul knew all the details as well.
I'm intrigued as to what some of the challenges are. I know what one of them is. What? Our biggest fan for all of us. And they're gonna come out, and then Jimmy's gonna be like, if you can make this free throw, you give your fan gets a savage job. But if you miss, you out.
How could you possibly know a detail that crucial before the game even started? Cookie Challenge. During the Squid Game Cookie Challenge, Logan Paul teamed up with random people who wouldn't normally be in his group. This seemed off.
Are you 5 gonna be a group? Yeah. Okay, who's gonna be the captain?
We're deciding, Jimmy.
Giant Jenga. In the Giant Jenga game, everyone picked their closest friends, but Logan Paul and KSI chose the shortest people. It seems too strategic, as if they knew what the game would be.
Give me the lip. I'm earning this $1 million, fam. I mean, brother, you got one move. Dude,
Logan, he flew here all the way from India, and you eliminated him.
The most obvious hint though was during the cooking challenge. Logan Paul somehow picked the professional chef YouTuber who cooks for a living as his partner, Nick DeGiovanni. Coincidence? I think not.
Bro, how'd you end up with Nick?
he said it.
That's crazy.
I'm cooked.
And the way Logan got eliminated,
Quick score.
Wait. One time for the one time, please. It's been so long.
Wait, you just left.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I couldn't resist throwing a plate. That was a complete mistake. I forgot all about the line. I saw the plate. I was like, I need to smash it. It took me back to 2017.
this looks so staged and so intentional, and he's a really bad actor too. I mean, just look at this.
You just left.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
On top of that, it felt like Logan got way more screen time compared to any other YouTuber. So I'm not saying he was favored to win, but he was definitely given more opportunities to stir up drama and make the show more engaging for content. So unless the entire video was rigged, that's not possible. In fact, the thumbnail covering Logan and KSI, but not the contestants who reached the final, is also pretty telling. Next up is, I survived 7 days in an abandoned city.
We just got dropped off in the middle of an abandoned city, and we're gonna spend the next 7 days here. And there goes our only way out. We are now stranded for the next 7 days.
Soon after this video came out, fans started questioning the authenticity of the video since the city, Dubrovnik, where the video was shot, is just a drive from the airport. And the access to the ruined complex in Kupari has been restricted due to the ongoing filming by MrBeast's crew, meaning MrBeast closed off the area to the public, particularly for the shooting of the video, and declared it abandoned.
Under this wood is a floor.
Only one way to find out.
All right, this is crazy. I feel like I'm in a zombie apocalypse. This is wild.
Oh, look at this.
And after a little more exploring, we stumbled across an area that might work for a shelter. Oh my gosh. I think this is where we should set up camp.
But usually, this place is full of tourists and cars. Furthermore, the 7 days were not consecutive as some team members suffered medical problems. Also, the area has a military tourist resort where MrBeast and his crew stayed during the shoot. So at this point, I've got no interest in knowing if the video is fake. Just tell me if there's any part of it which is actually real. After a while, he responded with this tweet. Seems the note was removed, but for clarity, it was abandoned decades ago. Also, I never said you can't drive to it, I just thought it would be cooler to fly a helicopter. That's it? That was his best response? And he really expected everyone to believe that? Because he claimed in the video that the helicopter was his only way out.
And there goes our only way here! And there goes our only way!
And here he says, I never said you can't drive to it. Can't you just admit you lied? Because if he is honest, he should say these things in the actual video rather than clarifying it later when people found out that his so-called abandoned city is not really abandoned. I opened a free bank.
I wanted to open a free bank, so I did what any logical person does. I rented a real bank, grabbed a ton of money, hired all my friends as tellers, and then bought a billboard and paid Chandler to flip a sign. And here's what happened.
This video featured MrBeast opening a bank where he gave away money to people who opened accounts. However, some viewers pointed out inconsistencies in the video, like the fact that all the people featured appeared to be extras rather than random passers-by. This led to accusations that the entire scenario was staged and the participants were actors hired to create a more compelling video.
You have a great day. Thank you for coming to Bank. Are you serious? Yeah, Bank. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Dude, they told me this is real.
No, they are not. Watch this.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What are you gonna do with all this?
And right here, if you zoom in, motion picture? Well, that's not what it says on an actual dollar bill. Obviously, it's fake, which he later admitted in a random interview clip. He explained that it wasn't safe to use real money, but they did give everyone a check afterwards. However, he never mentioned in the entire video that the money was just a prop, which speaks volumes about the authenticity of MrBeast's content. Next up is, I opened a free car dealership.
I bought every single car at a car dealership.
Can we afford this? I really don't know. Well, that's reassuring.
And hey, so we talked over the phone? The paperwork took forever. So these are the 12 cars, I just bought them.
In this video, MrBeast gave away an entire car dealership worth of cars for free to random customers who came in to buy a car, or at least that's what he claimed. However, it appears the entire video, as well as the giveaways, were staged, with participants being pre-selected rather than random passers-by. The way each customer behaved didn't seem genuine.
Hey, I'm sitting in this car with 3 guys with these Beast shirts on. Well, they want me to take this car and they're going to give me $100 to take this car. You want the car?
Yeah. All right, fine. We'll give you $100 as well. Jeez, these guys are good.
Okay. All right, bye.
MrBeast, like, because I got one of the Beast shirts.
Oh, okay. $500.
So she described this really unusual scenario, and her son didn't even ask a single question. I mean, anyone's first reaction in that situation would be pure shock, or at least wanting to know more, like if it's a scam or anything like that. They are staged, without a doubt, and so was every other customer who walked in. I bought everything in a store.
Hey, MrBeast here. Today we're gonna buy every item in this store. Let's do it.
So you get the gist of the video. We're basically buying literally everything in the store, which if it was just Chris, me, and Chandler would take forever, so I brought some friends. Make sure you get everything. Don't leave a single thing on the shelf.
So the goal was to purchase every single item in the store and then donate the goods to charity. However, it faced criticism as some viewers questioned the ethics of the stunt. The impression that MrBeast was single-handedly responsible for the entire purchase is simply not true. In reality, it was likely a coordinated effort involving his team and potentially the store itself. There were also claims that the video exaggerated the scale of the purchase, as certain items were restocked or moved around to create the appearance of a more significant haul. Yes, it's MrBeast again. And honestly, this situation is turning out to be far more complex and is looking very bad for MrBeast. Fake videos, illegal lotteries, scamming young audiences, to inhumane extreme challenges. I mean, the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper. And as new information came to light, it turns out MrBeast has scammed his audience in ways they might not have even realized. And here are a few of such instances where MrBeast blatantly lied to his audience. However, I just want to make one thing clear, these are just allegations publicly available at this stage and I'm just reporting, but the truth will become clearer as more information emerges. Now let's start with the first scam, Team C's.
This is one of the dirtiest beaches in the entire world. And we're gonna pick up every single piece of trash on this beach, starting with this water bottle, one out of millions of pieces of trash.
As per Wikipedia, Team C's is an international collaborative fundraiser that was started by MrBeast and Mark Rober. The fundraiser succeeded in raising over $33 million and pledges to remove 30 million pounds of marine debris from the ocean.
We have a massive announcement. As of today, Team C's has officially cleaned all 34,080,191 pounds of trash and plastic out of the oceans and rivers all across the world.
Quite inspiring, right? But here is the twist. Turns out that Team C's is nothing more than just a huge scam. Let me show you how. Team C's sets a goal to remove 30 million pounds of trash, but there's an estimated 17.6 billion pounds of trash dumped in the ocean every year, meaning approximately 2 million pounds of trash is being dumped in the ocean every hour. That means that Team C's cleanup of 30 million pounds of trash in 3 years was undone in just 15 hours. That is literally like a drop in the ocean. This means that a total of $33 million raised through donations was almost a complete waste. Hence, scientists never advocate for cleaning the ocean, rather they'd focus on the root cause of it, which is plastic pollution. YouTuber Simon Clark has done a pretty good job in explaining this.
Team C's aims to remove 30 million pounds of plastic from the oceans. In sensible units, that's about 13,600 tons, which sounds like a lot, but not when compared to the 150 million tons of plastic in the ocean. 13,600 tons is, at most, about 0.01% of all the plastic in the ocean. In fact, if we assume that 8 million tons is added to the oceans every year, again, an underestimate, then over the 3-year lifespan of Team C's removing 13,600 tons, 24 million tons of plastic waste will be added to the oceans. Or to think of it another way, Team C's will remove from the oceans in 3 years that which is added in under 15 hours.
The rate of plastic entering the sea is much higher than the rate of plastic coming out of it. So shouldn't the solution to this problem be not to use plastic rather than just cleaning it from the ocean while rivers continue to flood more trash every hour? But I guess that's not going to make a viral video with cool visuals, right? That's how MrBeast and his team worked tirelessly and cleaned a dirty beach. In fact, in one of Dogpack's recent videos, he talked about how MrBeast trashed a lake and never cleaned it.
I know that this is from a MrBeast video called Protect the Yacht, Keep It, where at the end of that video he actually says,
If you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of God, subscribe so we can pass it.
MrBeast leaving trash behind and debris at film site in Ayden, North Carolina. Apparently he left a large boat in a pond as well as debris around the film site in the bottom of the pond weeks and weeks after the agreed time frame. This actually rendered it unsafe for campers and almost delayed the camp's opening date multiple times due to not being able to get in contact with MrBeast to get the stuff cleaned up.
I really wonder where Team C's was at that time. So I guess it would be appropriate to say, campaigns like Team C's are nothing but just publicity stunts by MrBeast designed to mislead and potentially scam people. So if Team C's is a scam, do you think Team Trees could also be a scam? Unfortunately, it seems like yes. Campaigns like Team Trees and Team C's only look and sound impressive. It's entertaining to watch, makes you cheer for the participants, and leaves you feeling good about the outcome. However, they hardly even make a dent on the real cause. On the other hand, these are perfect for providing cover for some polluters to greenwash their reputation. As Dogpack tweeted, so why did Team C's never mention corporate pollution or push for a ban on unnecessary single-use plastics, and instead push the narrative that this problem is solvable by people and cleanup efforts? Could it be that 50% of the money went to a Peter Thiel-funded startup whose largest sponsor is Coca-Cola? By the way, Coca-Cola is also a sponsor of the Ocean Cleanups, the same organization who works with Team C's. And Coca-Cola is one among the top 5 companies who contribute to 50% of the world's plastic pollution. I'm sure by now you already have a fairly good idea of how these scams are operating. Anyway, the next scam in the list is Feastables, MrBeast's very own chocolate brand.
This is my old Feastables chocolate bar. And as you know, it tastes better than a Hershey's bar. Feastable bar.
This is the best tasting chocolate on earth. Good job, boys.
Feastables has always been advertised as the world's best chocolate by MrBeast, with just a few simple ingredients and less sugar.
Because a large part of Feastables' marketing campaign was the fact that it's a better for you brand, that it's healthier for you than Hershey's. Less sugar, only 4 ingredients, all organic.
I wanted to just make a better for you snack brand because I think a lot of the stuff out there is just terrible for you.
Because obviously so much obesity and disease comes from the stuff we eat.
Like Hershey's, for example, there's 10 ingredients, super processed. Our Feastables bars are 5 ingredients, and just all the ingredients are way higher quality.
However, the brand has degraded its quality heavily over the years. As Dogpack explains here,
now in 2024, MrBeast changed the formula again to where it has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's and even more sugar and more calories per bar.
But MrBeast didn't stop there. He not only plastered Feastables everywhere he went, but also introduced gambling as a way for his young audience to win big prizes.
And if you spend your money on Feastables, I really want you to enjoy it. And starting February 17th, for 30 days straight, we are going to be giving away $10,000 to a lucky customer who scans the QR code on the back of any new Feastable bar. So go give the new bars a try. You might win 10 grand, and I can't wait to see what all.
MrBeast is teaching us gambling? Minus points because there's no cool music. Anyway, let's gamble.
These children are gullible enough to take everything that MrBeast is saying at face value, while MrBeast, on the other hand, is exploiting their trust by scamming his young audience. MrBeast once ran a contest when he launched Feastables in Australia.
I just launched Feastables in Australia, as you can tell by the Sydney Opera House. And to celebrate, we're going to be giving random people that buy Feastables this Lamborghini and 9 other cars. No joke, all you have to do, just go to your local Woolworths or any of these retailers in Australia and buy a Feastables bar.
He advertised it as if buying a chocolate bar could instantly win you a car. However, many participants soon claimed that the entire contest was a scam. Despite matching 3 Lamborghinis in the center, as outlined in the contest terms and conditions, they repeatedly received an error message saying, "Sorry, not this time."
Is MrBeast lying to us? You see, his new chocolate Feastables just launched in Australia and is claiming if you buy a chocolate bar you can win a Lamborghini. So naturally, I bought 100 of them to find out if it's true.
I just spent $400 on chocolate.
And then I got to the 39th bar and the unexpected happened. So they said 3 Lamborghini cars on the center row is a win, and I just got that? I just got robbed. I 100% won. MrBeast, you genuinely owe me a car.
Congratulations, I got the same "sorry, not this time" message that I had received on all my other prior attempts. So I contacted Feastable customer support multiple times to try to get a resolution, but no response. So now I need your help. Share this video, tag MrBeast, and if enough people see it, maybe he'll fix this unfair situation.
Feastables has always been promoted through coupons and heavy discounts, since MrBeast is very well aware of the fact that without that, no one is going to buy his world's best chocolate brand. Let's look at what food theory has to say about Feastables.
I love a good food experiment, and we're no strangers to taste tests on this channel, but seeing Feastables come out on top so handedly,
Another one, back to back to back to back,
made me want to take a closer look at the whole thing. As I watched the video, I noticed something. Everything from the placement of the chocolates to the order in which they were eaten was designed to get Feastables to be the winner. While the contestants may have had no clue which chocolate was which, Jimmy's team made the experiment so that it would essentially be fail-proof in Feastables' favor.
No wonder the results were rigged, exactly like his games. And in order to test that, Food Theory conducted their own taste test, this time including Hershey's chocolate, something MrBeast had conveniently left out from his test. And here's what happens.
Cadbury and Lindt were a bit more all over the place, snagging some first place picks, some last place picks, and a few in between. But the most shocking result was that Feastables never earned anything higher than a third place ranking.
And then 3.
3 third place.
2 is 3.
The first plate you tried was your last place pick.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And came dead last half the time. So there you have it.
Now for the next scam, MrBeast Burger. Feastables also comes with Beast Burger coupons sometimes, a clear scam into making you purchase more of their products. And talking about Beast Burger, this is what it looks like. Tried MrBeast Burger, I wasted $50+ and had to order a different dinner. Ordering a burger from MrBeast and it being raw and missing ingredients. Raw meat? Really? Anyway, at least they received a product here, unlike the next scam where contestants didn't even receive their prize money.
Some of the common complaints we see in threads about this live stream are that they only signed large t-shirts, so when they selected an order to give a prize, it was apparently always a large or extra large t-shirt. They kept saying things like buy in the next 15 minutes for a chance to win and then not honoring it. Multiple people claiming that their name was read to win a prize and they never received it. This person is still tweeting about it to this day. There's a lot more people complaining about the deceptive sales tactics. Reading all this really upsets me because I spent money I honestly didn't have for 5 shirts at different times during the live when they said things like buy now and you will get prize or money. And I received 2 orders and nothing but shirt, both with MB and one with a heart and one with a smiley. I was hoping for at least a couple things for Christmas for my family.
These scams are pretty common in most of MrBeast's videos.
Next 7 days, I'm gonna be giving 1,000 random people that subscribe a free Samsung Galaxy S24. Would you guys prefer, that we throw money in random orders or that we throw items in random orders? One random person that buys in what time frame? 10 minutes. We're gonna put this in someone's order that buys
This is a shady tactic to deceive the audience into believing that the giveaways are legitimate, but they're nothing but just scams. Fake autographs. One of MrBeast's employees forged MrBeast's signature caught live on camera.
Here's a clip of Tyler using MrBeast's signature. So Tyler signs MB, which is MrBeast's signature. Then he covers it, signs his own initials, TC, smirks, looks around, and then quickly slides the shirt away.
Given that many people attach sentimental value to these autographs, it's likely gonna hurt their feelings when they find out that MrBeast's signature isn't even genuine. And that is a legit scam. I genuinely think MrBeast could write a book at this point titled 100 Ways to Scam Your Audience. Anyway, the reason we're talking about these scams now and not earlier is for the fact that he played it pretty well by always staying within the borderline. However, a lie is still a lie and a scam is still a scam. This brings me to my next critical point. Many people are using MrBeast's charity work as a shield to justify his questionable practices like faking videos. But how can you be sure that these charitable efforts are legitimate at this point? If he can lie about giving away prize money, about faking videos, about Team C's, about Team Trees, about Feastables, then can't he also be lying about his other charitable work? What's your opinion on the matter? Let me know in the comments below. The internet has been wild lately. Every day a new creator is getting exposed, and out of everyone, now it has to be Mr. B? Talking about Mr. B though, it isn't the first time he's been called out for faking his videos. He's faced such accusations multiple times in the past, and here are 6 of such instances where MrBeast was accused of faking his videos. Also, I'll address MrBeast as Mr. B in this video to avoid YouTube flags. Now let's start with 7 days stranded at sea.
We are now stranded on a raft in the middle of the ocean. And there goes our boat. We are now stranded for 7 days. This raft is literally countless miles from the nearest civilization. And whether we like it or not, my 4 friends and I are stuck on this raft. And it's not going to be easy.
So the idea of the video was to survive on a raft for 7 days with limited supplies and water. It was all going good initially. Day 1, they built themselves a temporary shelter and spent the night. On day 2, they spent the entire day constructing a more durable structure since the temporary shelter couldn't withstand rough weather.
Camp is now organized.
Day 3 went normal as well. However, by day 4, the cracks were already starting to show.
It rained non-stop for around 20 hours straight. And after standing the whole night, completely soaked and exhausted.
You can clearly see here on day 4, there's no one in the shelter at this point when it started raining, but after a hard cut, all 5 people suddenly appear in the boat. You can also notice that the weather around the boat looks different after the cut. Before the cut, it was raining non-stop, and the weather appears rough, but after the cut, the weather has calmed down a bit. This clearly means that there was a significant gap between these 2 clips, and there was no one in the boat at that time. Also, 2 people appear to be wearing raincoats now, unlike the day before when no one had a raincoat on them even though it was raining heavily. This suggests that they left the boat when it started raining on day 4, spent the night on their production yacht a few miles away, and returned on the morning of day 5. Hence, they were not stranded for 7 days at sea, they were instead chilling on their production yacht, meaning the video was fake. The irony is that this is the same video where Chris claims that they don't fake their videos and that it's 100% authentic.
Be the real channel that doesn't fake things. Oh, we're gonna die.
Next up is, in 10 minutes this room will explode.
I just started this 10-minute timer, and when it hits 0, that room all the way over there full of money will explode. And if Darcy does not escape his jacket and get through all 5 floors of this tower and press that button before the timer hits 0, his money explodes.
The intro is clearly sped up, and he safely passes through the first 3 levels. But right when the contestant is passing through the lasers, Mr. B had to do an ad promotion. How convenient. And yes, he quite clearly touches the laser too. If you watch carefully at around 5 minutes and 23 seconds, you can see he touches the laser, but nothing happened as Mr. B had claimed.
This floor is by far the hardest yet. Not only does he need to make it through this laser maze, but if he accidentally touches a laser, his money will instantly explode.
Now watch this clip.
Will he be able to hold his breath long enough to unscrew all 4 valves? Or will he run out of time?
There's a water coming in! Hey, you did it!
When he starts turning the knob, the water should gradually come out as the hole gradually opens, but instead, all the water gushes out instantly. In fact, the water's released when he's not even touching the knob. This can only suggest one thing: the valves are just props, maybe not even connected to the water, and someone else outside is controlling these actions with a remote. Anyway, moving on, after he opened all of the valves, he approaches the next obstacle, the main door.
Needs to wait for it to drain more.
Wait, Jimmy, the water's starting to come out the front door! Turn it! Turn it! Turn it, pull it open!
Pull it! You gotta go, buddy! You have got to go!
He's stuck in that one! He can't get it! Something's wrong! Bro, this is it! He's gonna fail! He can't figure out how to—
You can clearly see he's juggling with the knobs in the first few seconds to make it look more suspenseful, because after some time, all he did was turn all the knobs and the door was wide open. So he knew what he had to do the whole time. The entire video appears scripted and must have been practiced God knows how many times to fit the whole thing perfectly into a 10-minute segment. And lastly, of course, the contestant is also a camera-trained celebrity. Next in the list is I Built Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
I recreated Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in real life. And one of these 10 people is gonna walk away with this chocolate factory. Yeah! In we go.
Wow.
Yo. Welcome to my wonderful creation.
These 10 contestants are all here because they found a golden ticket when they bought one of our Feastable bars.
When out of all of the lottery tickets purchased by thousands of people, one ticket conveniently goes to a channel having more than 700,000 subscribers back then, and they even ended up winning the competition.
Josh? Oh! Okay. That's it? Yes. Congratulations! Here's the deed! He just won this chocolate factory!
I mean, it can't be any more obvious than this. And the truth does slip sometimes, like in this clip when Bella accidentally reveals that Mr. B picked them and Dallin immediately corrects her.
It's obviously like you're one of like hundreds of thousands of names.
Talk to Jimmy, Bella. What do you got to say to
Jimmy, thank you for picking us.
No, he didn't. It was random.
I know.
Was it though? Was it random?
Obviously, it isn't total chance, and they've clearly been picked by Mr. B. As Dogpack proves here, there are never any random contestant in Mr. B's videos. They're always predetermined.
So yeah, the random subscribers you see in challenges are actually never random. They're almost always local to MrBeast and oftentimes friends and family of MrBeast employees or just the employees themselves. And when they do pull someone from outside of North Carolina, it's usually somebody who's in the industry, who's camera trained, who has built a following.
Next is 100 boys versus 100 girls for $500,000.
I built 2 massive circles and put 100 boys in one and 100 girls in the other. Whichever circle has the most people in 100 hours splits the $500,000 amongst their entire team.
And even this video is fake.
And what's even worse is that the results of this video were completely scripted. According to a former MrBeast employee, it would have been a PR problem if the boys had won by a lot. And because so many of the female contestants were MrBeast employees who got out immediately, production stepped in to actually make the results of the challenge closer. You can actually see some of this happen on camera, like when Jimmy pays one of the boys $10,000 to leave, which is twice as much as the actual prize money, but doesn't make the same offer to the girls.
The boys were blowing you out of the water. I paid the one guy who knew how to solve them to leave. Now if you don't win, that was all for nothing.
You know, apparently at the end, they were only monitoring the boys to see if they stepped on the red line and not the girls, so that the girls would win the challenge. And
if you think this is the first time someone is calling out Mr. B for faking his videos, then you're severely mistaken. Because it wasn't long ago that a creator named Rosanna Pansino participated in one of Mr. B's videos titled Extreme $1 Million Hide and Seek and accused Mr. B for rigging the result of the game completely.
This is the largest stadium in the world, and inside are the 10 biggest creators on YouTube.
This is $1 million, and whichever one of them I find last keeps it. Yeah! I'm gonna count to 100. Go high.
This is the post she shared on Instagram after the video went public. I had participated in Creator Games 1 and 2 and was excited to be a part of YouTube's Creator Games 3, Hide and Seek at SoFi Stadium. After filming had wrapped, I truly couldn't believe how well I did at the competition and was proud of what I had achieved. I had placed 3rd. When the video was released, I was shocked, disappointed, and felt hurt. Mr. B had edited the video to make me look like I performed worse than I did. This was extra upsetting because I genuinely believed him when he said that his videos are authentic and real. He edited the video to look like the final 3 people were Larry, Logan Paul, and Zach King. The final 3 people were actually Zach, Quackity, and myself. Later, she also appeared on H3 Podcast Highlights, where she went in detail about what exactly happened that day. According to her, she had concealed herself in such a small cupboard that even Mr. B's crew members couldn't find her for hours.
And the first time I was in a cupboard on the ground, the bottom floor, and literally the guys walked in there and they opened all the cupboards, and I was in the smallest cupboard. They had like big ones, medium ones, and small ones. I contorted this little 4'10" body into the smallest space, and I was in there for hours.
But later, when they were transitioning from one hiding spot to another, she got caught in the process and eliminated.
Wait, the camera! Who is that? Oh no! Bros, you're not fooling anyone with those big fans!
While this may look completely normal, what happened afterwards changed everything. In the game, she was placed 3rd, and Logan was eliminated long before her. But when the actual video was released, there's a voiceover which has been added in the video later where Mr. B was saying this.
There he is. Turns out the freezer was too much for Logan, and we heard him get out. And we literally found him 1 minute before Zach.
He edited her out so that he can make it look like Logan survived till the end, and since Logan is a popular creator, it can get him more attention and views.
He recorded voiceover, and he said a blatant lie. So the voiceover in the video at the very end part says, I found Logan Paul literally 1 minute before Zach King.
Oh, so he's so he's trying to even make it sound like he did second place.
That never happened. Logan Paul was found while I was hiding, hours.
Dude, that's so lame.
Hours before.
She even asked for the raw footage, which Mr. B never shared. This could only mean one thing, and that is that she's telling the truth. And then the infamous Squid Game, $456,000 Squid Game in real life.
I recreated every single set from Squid Game in real life, and whichever one of these 456 people survives the longest wins 456 grand.
Ever since this video has been released, many contestants have come forward to share their story, claiming the game was not at all fair. One among them is Jean, who made a TikTok video about it.
That I've experienced since being eliminated from the new MrBeast game challenge. As MrBeast and his staff knew that I was homeless and had nothing when I went on the show, and I had to buy stuff for wardrobe to be on the show. Like, I did everything that I could to try and be able to stay on the show as long as I could. Then they have you sign some paperwork where they tell you that they're going to send you the money at a later point in time. For me, it was supposed to be $1,000. That's like nothing. $1,000 for everything that we'd gone through. And it takes 4 months. It was going to take 4 months to get to me.
People were having seizures because they were not getting medication, even though we were promised we would. And it was 100% rigged. They presented it as though the game would be like Squid Games, basically a type of game show where all the games are an even playing field. That was not at all the case. All the games were about speed and strength, so only the young athletic males were at an advantage over the women, and elderly people were also casted. To make things worse, men started realizing that they could take out the women without being eliminated. Guys started tackling and hitting women. 2 girls were tackled and passed out on the field and were dragged off to continue filming. I saw people with broken bones, stitches, etc., and most were women. We were given maybe 400 calories a meal and only fed every 12 hours. Food would run out and people would fight over, steal, and hoard food. Water was scarce and kept running out as well.
And it isn't only these 6 videos, there are countless examples like this. So I think it may be safe to say at this point that none of MrBeast's videos are real. From the participants, to the suspense, to the last minute winner, everything seems scripted. And now MrBeast is suing Dogpack instead of debunking his allegations by presenting receipts. I think that speaks volumes that the claims are indeed true. From I built 100 wells in Africa to 1,000 blind people see for the first time, here are a few of MrBeast's charitable videos where he was criticized for faking it, misleading the audience, and being more focused on gaining views and profits than genuine philanthropy. However, I do want to make one thing clear, that this is all just alleged information that's all available publicly at this stage, and I am just reporting it. But the truth will become clearer as more information emerges. Now, let's start with I built 100 wells in Africa.
This is the first of 100 wells we're gonna build in this video. Oh, water! You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less than a second. 1 down, 99 more wells in Africa to go. You're gonna love this video.
So the video is all about showing MrBeast's generosity and efforts to provide clean drinking water to some communities in Africa. Hence, he partnered with a few organizations to build 100 wells in different regions throughout Africa, primarily focusing on areas that face severe water scarcity.
No students complaining of diarrhea, infections like typhoid, because this is the water we've been using. So we try to treat, but you see, look at it, you know, but at the end of the day, life has to move on. You have to get some water anyway.
They started with Kenya, then Nairiri, Toraplongon, then Zimbabwe, and
we built more wells in Uganda, Somalia, and Cameroon.
The video seemed pretty normal to me until I came across this Reddit post. MrBeast lies in his videos with evidence. I found some pretty strong evidence that MrBeast lied in his recent video. If you take a look at these 2 pictures for one, they are exactly the same but from different angles. He's talking about these 2 pictures, well number 67 and well number 29. But guess what I found? If you watch the video and zoom in right here, this is well 28 and well 29. There is no picture for well number 29, and again, well 28 and well 67 are the same, but the angle is just different. It is somewhat suspicious, however, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what's next. The second problem is you see him claiming he will build wells in Kenya, we built 20 more wells in Kenya, then proceeding to show a picture that clearly shows Zimbabwe. Again, not something you should be seeing after spending thousands of dollars to build a well.
Dude, I'll push you off of this. All right, here we go, under control.
We built 20 more wells in Kenya.
This is the picture mentioned in the post where MrBeast mentioned Kenya but showed a picture from Zimbabwe. And finally, before he says well 69, he actually skips a picture of 68. There was no picture for well 68.
And after giving away the bikes, we continue building wells until we reach well number 69!
And yes, that's right, there are no pictures for well number 68. So why are these pictures skipped? editing mistakes, or purposely removed because those missing wells were never installed. And this is a huge red flag, especially when you're spending millions of dollars and using donation money from other people. Besides, why are these pictures flashing by so quickly on the screen that you can barely see them? If you've done the work, why not show the result properly? This post provides a clear explanation for that. It becomes a more logical choice to lie about the number of wells to make it seem like he did more than he actually did. Using fake numbers rather than fillers creates the illusion that there is a lot more new stuff to be seen than there actually is, thus increasing engagement. Building 100 wells in the time span of at most 2 weeks is questionable in itself. Additionally, MrBeast has faced criticism for framing these efforts as if he and his team were solely responsible for tackling these complex issues. While there are local community leaders and organizations who have been working on these issues for years, he didn't even mention them in this video.
So in addition to that, CNN talked to the founder and CEO of the water infrastructure organization Face Africa, who said, "I've been doing this for 15 years, but we've been struggling to continue the work because funding, awareness, and advocacy all take work." And adding, overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden he gets all of the attention. It's kind of frustrating, but it's also understanding the nature of how the world is.
So this kind of gave off the impression as if he was the first and perhaps the only person making a difference in these African communities.
I know it's weird that a YouTuber has to do all this stuff, but someone's got to do it, and if no one else is, we're gonna do it.
Furthermore, the work doesn't just stop at just installing a well. You need to maintain, repair, and make sure it's working after 3 or 5 years. Also, he didn't mention the specific names of the villages where the wells were installed, except for addressing them as just villages.
Yeah, you can see yourself.
We were also able to install a well for this village, and these 12 other villages. And while we were
That's kinda suspicious too, considering that is a huge scale of charitable work, and especially after finding all these loopholes in the video up to this point, this absolutely raises some serious doubts. 1,000 blind people see for the first time.
In this video, we're curing 1,000 people's blindness. It's gonna be crazy.
most of us see the world like this. But here's the thing, 200 million people see the world like this. But I just made it one less.
Oh. Wow.
She's just one of 1,000 blind people we helped from around the world.
So here in this video, he isn't curing any blindness, instead he's helping them by paying for the surgery which these people might have received anyway. As per this article by CNN Entertainment, they started by calling homeless shelters and free clinics to create a list of patients in the Jacksonville area who needed cataract surgery but could not afford it. Eventually, they had a group of 40 patients and all of their surgeries in a single day, which of course is great charitable work and people benefited. However, why this video was criticized heavily is because of the way it was used for clout. Starting from the thumbnail to the intro which filmed each patient's emotional reaction on camera as if they were just props to the video is what rubbed people the wrong way.
Let's talk about MrBeast. This video posted this weekend, and in the video he took 1,000 people who suffered from blindness caused by cataracts, and he paid for the surgery to repair their eyesight.
I watched it, yeah.
So I will tell you that last night we saw this thumbnail pop up, and literally my 15-year-old was like, that's creepy. His immediate response was, that feels gross and exploitative.
This approach left a feeling that the project prioritized dramatic storytelling over genuine help and doing good for people. The video was criticized so much that MrBeast had to finally tweet this. Twitter, rich people should help others with their money. Me, I'll use my money to help people and I promise to give away all my money before I die, every single penny. Twitter, MrBeast bad. Well, this reply fits best here. Devil's advocate, but while it was an amazing piece of altruism on your behalf, why make a video about it? Why not just do good with no reward other than self-satisfaction, knowing you're making the world a better place?
But really, I do find this language fascinating. He's blessing people, or the implication that he cured blindness. MrBeast paid for surgeries, but he did not cure blindness. For two, helping is good, but this video is still exploitative and charity corn. We are all happy that 1,000 people now have improved sight. That fact alone is undeniably a wonderful thing. And while these systemic failures are not MrBeast's fault, obviously, making content out of people's needs and desperation, that is textbook exploitation. I know, the word exploitation may seem a bit strong, but he is using these people to get views. Without featuring the people, hearing their stories, there really wouldn't be a video.
So even though the entire video wasn't fake, the portrayal is manipulative and for personal gain. Team C's.
We have a massive announcement. As of today, Team C's has officially cleaned all 34,080,191 pounds of trash and plastic out of the oceans and rivers all across the world.
That's 4 million pounds over our original goal and 100% verified by an independent third party.
Team C's is an international collaborative fundraiser that was started by MrBeast and Mark Rober. The fundraiser accumulated over $33 million in funding and pledged to remove 30 million pounds of marine debris from the ocean. However, as per scientists, these kinds of projects are nothing but huge scams because ultimately they don't fulfill the purpose at all.
C's aims to remove 30 million pounds of plastic from the oceans. In sensible units, that's about 13,600 tons, which sounds like a lot, but not when compared to the 150 million tons of plastic in the ocean. 13,600 tons is, at most, about 0.01% of all the plastic in the ocean. In fact, if we assume that 8 million tons is added to the oceans every year, again, an underestimate, then over the 3-year lifespan of Team C's removing 13,600 tons, 24 million tons of plastic waste will be added to the oceans. Or to think of it another way, Team C's will remove from the oceans in 3 years that which is added in under 15 hours.
I'm very cynical, probably too cynical about projects like this, because you see a lot of them and actually they sound impressive and they look impressive, but when you delve a little bit deeper into the numbers and the stats behind it all, actually their long-term impact becomes quite questionable.
I've also covered this in more detail in another video, and the link to that is in the description if you want to watch. Now, coming back to the topic, apart from the fact that Team C's cleanup of 30 million pounds of trash in 3 years is nothing, at least compared to the tons of plastic entering into the sea every hour, Team C's has also teamed up with one of the most controversial organizations in the world, known as the Ocean Cleanup.
The money he raised was being split between 2 different not-for-profits. The Ocean Conservancy, a very well-respected not-for-profit that focuses on conservation, and the Ocean Cleanup, a different charity that uses interceptors.
The interceptors are a series of semi-autonomous vehicles that float on the surface of rivers, funneling and collecting plastic waste for subsequent disposal. The Ocean Cleanup originally used similar technology to collect plastic waste in the open ocean.
Now, the big criticism that myself and experts in plastic pollution shared about Team C's was its emphasis on cleanup and not preventing more plastic being added to the oceans, which is what the interceptors seem to do.
By the way, Coca-Cola is also a sponsor of the Ocean Cleanup, and they're one of the top 5 companies who contribute to 50% of the world's plastic pollution. So, in simple words, these projects are not focused on the root cause, which is plastic pollution, and instead they're just publicity stunts. And so is Team Trees.
Beast then partnered with other noted YouTuber Mark Rober to launch Team Trees, aiming to raise $20 million before 2020, which would then be used to plant 20 million trees. But I have mixed feelings about the project. Not, however, for the following reasons. Number 1, the ecological effects of planting these trees. I'm sure that they will bring restoration to damaged biomes. Number 2, the stewardship of these trees. I have no doubt that they will be managed and planted in a sensible way. And number 3, the carbon sink of these trees. Removing 1 million tons of carbon from the atmosphere is definitely a good thing, as we've seen adding a lot of carbon to the atmosphere on short timescales results in pretty significant anthropogenic global warming. No, I believe that Team Trees has the potential to do real damage because of a concept called self-licensing.
While they might have planted those 20 million trees, what about maintaining them? Did all the trees survive or did they die? Where's the follow-up? Because if the project only stops at just planting the trees, then it's not targeting the actual cause. Hence, these campaigns were less about creating sustainable environmental change and more about enhancing MrBeast's image as a socially conscious influencer. And besides the money for all these charitable works, they're done in collaboration with third-party charity organizations and donations from people. So technically, it's not all MrBeast's money. And let's admit it, his generosity has been criticized right from the beginning of his first charitable video.
Well, we can start off by driving you. Where do you want to go? I mean, 'cause my car's right there.
You're all good, man. I got my tent back in the woods. Yeah, you're fine.
You mind if we just see it? Or, I mean, just to give them a little bit more idea of how you live and stuff.
I mean, I don't got it. Do you have to?
No, we don't have to. No, we don't. I don't want to overstep. I'm a YouTuber. I'm going around giving random people who need $1,000. Most people get mad and say this is a bad way to get views. Tell them, like, you're okay with this. Are you okay with it?
Hell yeah.
That's right, YouTube.
Best day of my life right here.
Homeless people don't care if I use them.
In return for the money, he received content for his video, so it's not exactly a 100% charity, instead more like a give and take scenario where both the parties are benefiting. MrBeast, who is often portrayed as this generous philanthropist, is actually a highly strategic businessman. His content, primarily aimed at children, exploits the minds of his young, impressionable audience for profit. And here are a few instances where MrBeast is clearly taking advantage of his young audience to boost his earnings by launching products directly targeting kids. Let's start with one of MrBeast's most recent ventures, Lunchly.
Hydration beverage. I sell chocolate. We came together to create a Lunchables competitor featuring the fastest growing hydration beverage ever and the fastest growing candy ever. And so we did that. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce you to Lunchly. Oh my gosh.
Lunchly is a grab-and-go meal kit which is facing heavy criticism ever since the product was launched, as the product is nothing but a blatant rip-off of the popular brand Lunchables.
Perhaps you are familiar with this product. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. So if you look closely, this product has a candy, an entree, and a drink. Wait. Perhaps you guys are piecing this together, but this is Lunchables, and this is something, you know, we grew up eating. It's a thing. It's a thing, but it's been around forever. Yeah, we don't have to.
Lunchly was created in collaboration with fellow YouTubers KSI and Logan Paul and is marketed as a more nutritious option, featuring Logan Paul's Prime Hydration drink and MrBeast's Feastables snacks.
Lunchly versus Lunchables.
With Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar. Whoa. Feastables Crunch
Yeah!
Bar. Our pizza uses real cheese. Theirs, as it says on their box, is mozzarella pasteurized prepared cheese product. They can't even call it real cheese. Ooh. We're also 30 less calories, 3 less grams of fat, and 8 less grams of sugar.
However, the backlash is starting to mount, questioning the authenticity of the health claims being made, especially when it's been launched by two of the most controversial YouTubers out there today. One accused of being a scammer and the other known for being a liar. One of the first people to call out the product was DanTDM, an OG YouTuber who's rarely involved in any drama until recently. He took it to Twitter and wrote, "I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them." The irony is, Lunchly is being promoted as a healthier option, while there isn't much difference between its competitor brand Lunchables when it comes to ingredients or nutritional value.
I mean, in general, Lunchables are known for just being absolute ass when it comes to nutrition. Their packaging apparently has a whole lot of lead in it, and it was actually a product that was built out of failure. Like, this is literally just like them copying Lunchables' homework and trying to change a couple of things on their paper. And here these guys are acting like they discovered fire for making this blatant ripoff of another product.
And besides, I don't see the point in launching a copy of an already existing brand, especially when the original product itself has been a big failure from the start.
Back in the 90s, they had all this mystery meat that they really did not know what to do with because no adult wanted to buy it anymore, and so they thought, what are we gonna do with all this? We're gonna have to close down these different manufacturing plants And that wasn't until someone had the genius idea of marketing it towards kids, giving them a little bit of autonomy, like, hey, I can make my little sandwich at lunch, package that with some good marketing and a good product design.
The reviews of the product are so bad that almost everyone is calling it out.
Versus Lunchables.
Yeah, cow shit versus dog. Oh, the good, the bad, and the ugly here started a company together called Lunchly, which is essentially...
Lunchly is one of those products where the more I think about it and look into it, the worse it seems. Like, to begin with,
social media posts are slamming Lunchly for not being perfect.
Your wholesome content creator childhood heroes are now all grown up and peddling processed rubbish to their young audiences, labeling it as a healthy lunch.
The launch has also raised concerns about the ethics of influencer marketing, especially when their main audience are kids and teens. And since MrBeast is a role model of every kid watching him, this is an attempt to profit from them while pretending to promote healthy products. Aside from their half-baked product launch, what's even more laughable is the timing of it all. Since the MrBeast controversy, there's been complete silence from his end. And instead of giving a response, he's been busy launching one product after the other. Lunchly isn't his only product line launched amidst the controversy, because how can we forget his recent toy line called MrBeast Labs, featuring a range of collectible toys.
In this ad, I'm going to tell you about the greatest toy on earth, MrBeast Lab Swarms.
Can I drink this?
Put it down.
Just mix them. Shake them.
And create your MicroBeast! There's over 100 swarms to collect.
And here are a few reviews of the products.
I'm gonna start with MrBeast Lab Swarms. So it looks like you just peel the cardboard off like that. You add water. Oh, it's already fizzing up. Oh my god. Alright, that's about $5 right there. I also got another bee swarm things.
Did I get the same thing twice? Wait, there's supposed to be hundreds of these things. I got the same thing twice. I already have these! Did I buy the same?
I think we all know by now, MrBeast knows exactly how to exploit the minds of his young audience to earn money. And honestly, when I first heard about his toy line, the first thought that came to mind was, this is the same guy who promotes ocean cleanups and raises awareness about plastic pollution. Isn't it ironic that he's launching a product line that directly contradicts the very message he's advocating against, which is plastic pollution? So let me get this straight. He and his team C's project are cleaning the beaches and removing plastic, while at the same time he's launching products which are adding to more plastic pollution. And if this isn't contradictory enough, let's move on to his next product line, his chocolate brand Feastables, which he describes as
New Feastable bar.
This is the best tasting chocolate on earth. Good job, boys.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Feastables has always been advertised as the world's best chocolate by MrBeast, with just a few simple ingredients and less sugar. However, the brand has degraded its quality heavily over the years. As Dogpack explains here,
MrBeast changed the formula again to where it has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's and even more sugar and more calories per bar. And this initial ad for Feastables where he calls it healthy is still getting millions of views a month. Also, I don't think you should ever advertise it as over $1 million in prizes when more than a third of those prizes are just coupons for more MrBeast products.
But MrBeast didn't stop there. He not only plastered Feastables everywhere he went, but also introduced gambling as a way for his young audience to win big prizes.
I am absolutely pigging out on Feastables, and I'm trying to do this. MrBeast is teaching us gambling? Minus points because there's no cool music. Anyway. Let's gamble.
These children are gullible enough to take everything that MrBeast is saying at face value, while MrBeast, on the other hand, is exploiting their trust by scamming his young audience. MrBeast once ran a contest when he launched Feastables in Australia.
I just launched Feastables in Australia, as you can tell by the Sydney Opera House. And to celebrate, we're going to be giving random people that buy Feastables this Lamborghini and 9 other cars.
That's a lot of cars!
He advertised it as if buying a chocolate bar could instantly win you a car. However, many participants soon claimed that the entire contest was a scam. Despite matching 3 Lamborghinis in the center, as outlined in the contest terms and conditions, they repeatedly received an error message saying, "Sorry, not this time."
To enter the competition, you buy a Feastables chocolate bar, scan the QR code on the back, and upload your receipt as proof of purchase, and that gives you 1 spin on a virtual slot machine. If you get 3 Lamborghinis in a row, you win. So I bought 18 bars, which gave me 18 spins. And with just 4 spins left, I got the 3 Lamborghinis in the middle. I did it. I won. But instead of Over congratulations, I got the same "sorry, not this time" message that I had received on all my other prior attempts. So I contacted Feastable customer support multiple times to try to get a resolution, but no response.
Feastables has always been promoted through coupons and heavy discounts since he knows that's the best way to fool his young audience. Let's look at what Food Theory has to say about Feastables.
Now, I love a good food experiment, and we're no strangers to taste tests on this channel, but seeing Feastables come out on top so handedly made me want to take a closer look at the whole thing. MrBeast's chocolate being eaten first by the participants gave it another leg up, or should I say tongue up, when it comes to how our taste buds work. When we consume something sweet, our taste buds naturally become suppressed and the sensitivity of that taste decreases. This makes everything after that first sample taste less sweet. Like I mentioned earlier, testers in the video kept saying things like Feastables was richer or sweeter than the others. Every element of the taste test skewed the results in favor of Feastables coming out on top.
No wonder the results were rigged, exactly like his games. And in order to test that, Food Theory conducted their own taste test, this time including Hershey's chocolate, something MrBeast had conveniently left out from his test. And here's what happens.
There might be a reason why MrBeast didn't initially include Hershey's chocolate in his taste test. In 8 total rounds, Hershey's came in first place in 4 of them, and second place in another 2. But the most shocking result was that Feastables never earned anything higher than a 3rd place ranking.
And among all of the products he has launched to date, how can we forget the epic fail of MrBeast Burger, which looks like this, and this, which is quite contradictory to the expectations people had when MrBeast launched his fast food restaurants in 2020. The burgers, marketed as affordable and delicious, resonated with his younger fan base. The hype was unreal, cars were lined up for miles, people waited in line for hours to get their hands on MrBeast Burger. Not only kids, but adults too went crazy about the launch.
We haven't even opened yet, and the police just told us they had to shut down a mile of traffic, and there's 1,000 cars in line.
Then came the backlash. In no time, several complaints started circulating regarding the product. One of the primary complaints about MrBeast Burger has been the inconsistency in food quality. There have been numerous reports of customers receiving cold burgers, incorrect orders, poorly packaged food, and so on and so forth. Tried MrBeast Burger. I wasted $50+ and had to order a different dinner, ordering a burger from MrBeast and it being raw and missing ingredients. Raw meat? Really? Despite its promising start, it has been labeled a massive fail. So I wouldn't be wrong in saying the nature of his content, which often involves large sums of money, jaw-dropping stunts, and huge giveaways, are extremely captivating for younger viewers who are easily excited by extreme concepts and high-energy entertainment. Kids see MrBeast as a role model and may not be able to distinguish between genuine content and marketing tactics. Children that may not fully understand the commercialization behind the content are more susceptible to branded messages, making them an ideal target for merch sales and sponsored content. It's high time that people realize that MrBeast's empire thrives off monetizing his young audience, taking advantage of their admiration and excitement while blurring the line between entertainment and advertising. MrBeast, also known as Jimmy Donaldson, has built a massive online following by creating videos that often feature elaborate challenges, grand giveaways, and significant acts of charity. With millions of subscribers and billions of views, he has been hailed as a modern-day Robin Hood. Wait, I think I'm reading the wrong script. Here's the right one. In the ongoing MrBeast saga, another controversy has recently surfaced, and it's not about his fake videos or his garbage product Lunchly or about his shady crypto activities. In fact, it's that very thing that he has always been praised for and consistently defended with, his charitable work. Turns out they are fake too, and he has been exposed again. Today, we're looking into a few of such charitable videos by MrBeast which might be staged, exaggerated, or manipulated for the sake of content creation, aka performative philanthropy. Let's start with We Powered a Mountain, uploaded on his Beast Philanthropy channel.
A few months ago, at the very top of a 9,000-foot mountain in a remote part of Nepal, this hospital looked like this.
local doctors have no access to proper medical equipment and often had to perform surgeries and complex procedures in the dark using only a flashlight and very basic tools. So our long-term partners Give Power, who we have worked with in 3 previous Beast Philanthropy videos, asked Dan and Darren to join them on a trek to the village of Colaguen to help them solve this problem.
So the video is about bringing electricity to a hospital in a remote mountain community that never had power before, and he boasted about transforming a broken building into a fully operational hospital.
Together, we turned a broken building with no electricity into a fully operational hospital that will service over 16,000 people in this community.
Turns out he never actually built the hospital, it was already there. So what did he build then? Or did he just Photoshop the hospital? Now, getting back to his Nepal philanthropy video, the cracks were pretty evident right from the beginning. If you look closely, you can see the building is heavily photoshopped. The moss growing here wasn't there in the original picture, and neither were these cracks. And it isn't just the moss and the cracks, the entire building behind this structure is photoshopped to create the illusion that it was the MrBeast philanthropy team who built the hospital.
Beast Philanthropy did a behind the scenes video for this shoot where they build a hospital in Nepal or whatever. The building looks very different than in shots like this. And, you know, for one example, there's like moss growing here, which is...
Yeah, it looks more decrepit.
Yeah, and it's like
this
the
one.
Concrete's breaking down right here. There's like holes in the roof. There's like all this random crap.
But in the real shot, there's no moss.
Yeah.
There's no decrepit.
Right here, you'll notice this pillar, 2 white lines. Right here, same pillar, 2 white lines. But there's a building behind it. So in this opening shot, where MrBeast says, "This is what the hospital looked like a month ago," they digitally removed the entire hospital to make it look like they built the hospital.
Like
and the same goes for other parts of the building too, like this entrance which looks perfectly fine in their behind the scenes footage, but they're pretty much deteriorated in their published video.
But yeah, they did that to make it look all broken down and decrepit, adding all these like all this trash, like this looks like a PlayStation 2 graphic.
It doesn't have any of that in the video.
Yeah, and these pictures were used in news articles to show that MrBeast revitalizes Nepal hospital, bringing vital services to thousands. What they actually did in the video was just install solar panels. They didn't build the hospital, but he made it seem like they did.
And you don't have to go too far to prove Dogpack's claim, just look into the comment section. I'm from Nepal and this hospital was built by the government. MrBeast added solar panels and took all the credit, lol. I'm from Nepal and this place is located in Sinduli district. People from Sinduli say that he only added the solar lights in the hospital, but the building itself was built by the Nepal government, not MrBeast. This hospital looked like this. No, it didn't. Those are some straight up lies. That is poorly made generative AI/photo bashing to remove the actual hospital building from the rear that was there the entire time and to make it look even more run down. And if that's true, I think that's a really bad move in the name of philanthropy, because if you have to exaggerate things to make it appear as though more was done than what actually happened, then what's the point of charity if it's just for show? But sadly, most of MrBeast philanthropy is like this. Coming to the next video, we built a town.
Just 4 days ago, this secluded town in the middle of nowhere looked like this. And because this town is located in the middle of the jungle in Guatemala, an area that experiences extreme tropical storms in the summer, many of these small houses cannot withstand these brutal conditions, forcing the residents to constantly rebuild their homes in order to protect their families. Once we found out about this community in Guatemala, we contacted Techo, an organization we worked with 2 years ago by rebuilding 10 houses in an impoverished community in Costa Rica to see how we could help save this remote town from being destroyed.
If you look closely, why does this picture look wobbly? The flowers, the building, everything is moving. That doesn't make any sense. I think Dogpack and Rosanna have a better explanation for this.
Look at how fake this tank looks.
That's definitely a fake
Look
tank.
how fake these flowers are.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm a girl, I know my flowers, okay? No.
So, but I think there is some part of a real building here, but then they just use generative AI or you know, editing or whatever to expand it, because it's like, there's things, look at that.
It's no.
And then like the building here is like expanding, so it's like they added on the whole back half of the building. The flowers here are like not lining up. You can barely tell that this is faked. So like, how many things like this are they getting away with where they're making it look like they did more than they actually did? Because they say that this is what the town looks like now, and then this is what it looked like before.
Yeah.
And it's just not true.
It's dishonest.
No, it's completely dishonest.
No doubt the house is faked. Can't you see how parts of the image are overlapping? He's simply using poverty as a platform to boost his own fame and wealth. I built 100 wells in Africa.
This is the first of 100 wells we're gonna build in this video. Oh, water! Oh, crap! You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less than a second. One down, 99 more wells in Africa to go. You're gonna love this video.
So the video is all about showing MrBeast's generosity and efforts to provide clean drinking water to some communities in Africa. Hence, he partnered with a few organizations to build 100 wells in different regions throughout Africa, primarily focusing on areas that face severe water scarcity.
The teachers showed me where the students currently get their water, which is from this river. That's extremely unsafe to drink. This is where your students used to get water from?
Yes.
Every time they need to get water, they need to take a treacherous mile-long hike through the jungle. And that mile-long hike also happens to be on a giant mountain.
The video seemed pretty normal to me until I came across this Reddit post. MrBeast lies in his videos with evidence. I found some pretty strong evidence that MrBeast lied in his recent video. If you take a look at these two pictures for one, they are exactly the same but from different angles. He's talking about these two pictures, well number 67 and well number 29. The second problem is you see him claiming he will build wells in Kenya, we built 20 more wells in Kenya, then proceeding to show a picture that clearly shows Zimbabwe. Again, not something you should be seeing after spending thousands of dollars to build a well.
All right, here we go, under control. We built 20 more wells in Kenya, and after we were done...
This is the picture mentioned in the post where MrBeast mentioned Kenya but showed a picture from Zimbabwe. And finally, before he says well 69, he actually skips a picture of 68. There was no picture for well 68. And yes, that's right.
And after giving away the bikes, we continue building wells until we reach well number 69!
There are no pictures for well number 68. One more example of performative philanthropy. Here is an article by Unheard which highlights the major issue for such stunts. This might seem a sensible way for outsiders to help poorer communities, but the landscape of Africa is littered with donor-funded wells and water systems that fail due to lack of maintenance. This has long been recognized as a problem. One report 15 years ago found that £270 million had been wasted on building 50,000 rural water supply points that ended up broken on the continent. One Kenyan activist pointed out that the big issue is sustainability. Her group worked in areas where 6 in 10 wells were broken, with no infrastructure put in place for follow-up maintenance or repair. No doubt, his model of philanthropy relies upon creating viral videos to build mass audiences for advertisers and brand partners. And I really don't think faking his philanthropy videos is right in any way, shape or form. He also frequently boasts about giving away all his money and claims that he's actually poor.
For Dog Pack, there's one thing that I want to talk about. In this clip, he says, I give all my money away. I'm poor. I don't know anybody who's poor who has tens of millions of dollars to throw around in crypto. Not one person. In the Time magazine article where he was interviewed called In the Belly of the Beast, Jimmy says that he brings in about $700 million in revenue a year. And Jimmy Donaldson defends his philanthropic work against charges of poverty profiteering by pointing out that it is funded by his main channel, which sends the charity $100,000 a month. Let's do a little bit of basic math. So annual revenue, $700 million, and you're donating $100K to your charity every month. What percentage is that? What percentage of all of your revenue is donated to your charity? Out of all of the money that he makes, he donates about 0.2%. to charity. Which I also want to remind everyone watching that donating that money is also a tax write-off.
Furthermore, his philanthropic work doesn't solely rely on his own money, it also includes donation from others. So if he's faking his charitable efforts, it raises the question, where is the donated money going? Into his own pocket? Well, let's just ask him. Hey MrBeast, where's the money you pocketed from the donations? I have no idea what you're talking about. The money donated goes to charity. Yeah, that's right.